The spectacular Oregon coast is situated in the Pacific Northwest, just a 3-hour drive from Seattle, or a 1.5-hour drive from Portland. This is a coast where time is measured not in seconds, but by the tides, where years are measured in the fading patina of fishing floats, and centuries by the fall of rocky sea stacks and the rise of redwoods. A visit to the Oregon coast is more than just a trip to the seaside. It's a series of unforgettable moments strung together by one of the USA's great scenic drives, Highway 101. And thanks to visionary legislation enacted in 1967, Oregon's coastline, all 362 miles of it, offers free public access to all. Welcome to the People's Coast. Oregon's coast starts in the state's far north at Astoria, where the waters of the mighty Columbia roll into the Pacific. It was here in 1805, a year and a half after leaving St. Louis, that Lewis and Clark staggered out from the wilderness and shouted, "Ocean in view, oh joy!" Trek back in time at the Lewis and Clark National Historical Park. Here, a recreation of Fort Clatsop lets you experience the cramped quarters where the expedition hunkered down through a brutal winter before returning east. Oregon's oldest city has come a long way since 1805. But Astoria has never turned its back on its rough-hewn and sometimes rowdy past. Visit the Heritage Museum and learn about the region's first peoples and the fur traders, fishermen, and lumbermen who followed Lewis and Clark. Drop anchor at the Columbia River Maritime Museum, which honors the seafarers and fishermen who braved the Columbia Bar, which earned this stretch of coastline the name the Graveyard of the Pacific. Step into the now silent interiors of the Hanthorn Cannery, the last of the 22 canneries which once made Astoria the salmon canning capital of the world. But this city is no museum piece trading on past glories. Astoria is still a working port. So head down to the Riverwalk, where the jetty pylons of old are reclaimed by time and tide, and freighters slip off to ports unknown. This is where you'll find the true, timeless spirit of Astoria. From Astoria, the road trip begins. Just a 20-mile drive south is the town of Seaside, which marks the eastern end of the Lewis and Clark Trail. When the railway arrived in the late 1800s, the town boomed, becoming Oregon's first coastal resort. While the beer, menu items, and streetscapes may have changed with the times, Seaside's natural gifts have been a reassuring constant throughout history's ebb and flow. 10 miles south of Seaside is Ecola State Park. Follow trails through old-growth forest and along cliff tops where offshore stacks, ribbons of beach, and the heart-calming rhythm of wind and sea beckon you further down the coast. little further south is the coastal town of Cannon Beach, home to iconic Haystack Rock. Call into the History Center to see the city's namesake, a cannon which washed ashore in the 1800s. Catch a performance at the local theater, or just wander along the weather-worn perfection of this place where salt lingers in every shingle and every grain of wood. Before Oregon's coastal highway was built in the 1930s, stagecoaches raced along the sands from Cannon Beach all the way down to Cape Arch, hugging the headlands to beat the incoming tides. To appreciate the bravery of Oregon's early road builders, follow the highway through Oswald West State Park, where forests tumble toward the Pacific and scenic pullovers offer heart-stopping views down the coast for miles. Once back at sea level, sink your toes into the sand in beachside towns like Manzanita and Rockaway Beach. Or grab a paddle and throw in a line at the historic riverside timber towns of Nehalem and Wheeler. A few miles on, the coast arcs inland around Tillamook Bay to the port of Garibaldi. Take a ride on the scenic railway or just hang out by the docks. This is the kind of place where the best thing to do is relax. From Garibaldi, mosey around the bay to Tillamook, the bustling gateway to the Three Capes Scenic Loop. If you're short on time, this 40-mile loop makes for an easy day trip from Portland and is the perfect sampler of all that's special about the Oregon coast. For those with more time, the road unwinds ever south through Pacific City, around Cascade Head, and onto the sands of Rhodes End, the start of Oregon's central coast. Call into the North Lincoln County Historical Museum, which celebrates the pioneers of old and the early vacationers of the Central Coast. And check out the collection of foreign fishing floats, lost at sea and carried by wind and wave to Lincoln shores. Those floats were onto something, for there are few finer places to wash up than Lincoln, where one perfect day fades into the next. You'll find even more perfection a further 20 minutes down the coast at JBay, where whale watch cruises put out to sea from the world's smallest navigable harbor. If you're not the seafaring type, you'll find plenty of opportunities to spot whales below the highway south from JBay, which offers some of the Central Coast's most dramatic scenery. After 6 miles of twists and turns, pull over for a breather at the tiny hamlet of Otter Rock and peer into the Devil's Punch Bowl. Then rent a wetsuit and board and hit the waves in the Marine Reserve below. From Otter Rock, the sands stretch away for miles to Yaquina Head, home to the tallest of Oregon's 11 lighthouses. Lose a dreamy hour or 3 exploring the rock pools beneath the lighthouse. And when the tide returns, take to higher ground just down the coast in Newport. Newport is home to miles of sands, 2 lighthouses, a marine research center, and a working bayfront, complete with barking sea lions and circling gulls. If ever there was a city with salt in its veins, surely this is it. The salty flavors continue just across the Yaquina Bay Bridge at South Beach, where you'll find the best fish and chips on the entire coast. 10 minutes down the highway, keep a lookout for Seal Rock, an enchanting haven for artists and a rest stop for seabirds on their long migrations to far-off shores. The magic continues in Yachats, a town wedged between the Siaslaw National Forest and the sea. Here, life's challenges are reduced to what flavor ice cream to choose and whether to bait your hook with clam necks or sandworms. Three miles down the highway, don't miss the turnoff to Cape Perpetua. Here, at the highest viewpoint on the Oregon coast accessible by car, take in views that extend 40 miles out to sea. After exploring the dizzy heights of Cape Perpetua, head a little further down the coast to Sea Lion Point, which offers views north to Heceta Head, all the way south to the mouth of the Siaslaw River. But the main attraction here is the 200-foot elevator ride down into the fascinating and whiffy world of Sea Lion Caves, the largest sea cave system in America. Discover another of nature's oddities just 6 miles away at the Darlingtonia State Natural Site, an 18-acre reserve blanketed with patches of the rare carnivorous cobra lily. After taking in the dizzying heights, subterranean layers, and primordial wonders of the Central Coast, kick back in Florence, where the living is easy. With its Art Deco bridge, old-timey vibes, and calm waters, it's easy to see why people retire here, to spend their days happily checking crab pots and playing with the grandkids on the silver sands. From Florence, it's just a 20-mile run down Highway 101 to Reedsport, the gateway to Oregon's southern coast and the Oregon Dunes National Recreation Area. After exploring the dunes, shake the sand out of your shoes at Coos Bay, the largest natural harbor between San Francisco and Seattle. Spend an hour or 2 at the Coos Historical Museum and follow the bay's European story from its castaway beginnings to its heyday as the largest timber port in the world. Just a short drive away is the South Slough National Estuarine Research Reserve. Spend an afternoon in this 6,000-acre park on the Coos Estuary, a vital nursery for all marine and bird life, and a veritable pantry for the region's first peoples for thousands of years. Coos Bay is also close to another of the coast's great scenic loops, which takes in a trio of stunning state parks, including Cape Arago, which offers views to seal and sea lion colonies just offshore. After exploring the intertidal and coastal treasures around Coos Bay, follow the winds of adventure south to Bandon by the Sea, one of Oregon's coolest and craftiest coastal towns. Throw in a crab pot from Weber's Pier, and while you're waiting for your dinner, walk up to Coquille Point to feast on the endless views. From here, the southern coast stretches away for another 90 wild miles south, all the way to the Californian border. Whether you visit just one part of the Oregon coast for a weekend or take a month to explore its entire length, every cove and trail, every wisp of sea mist will greet you like a long-lost friend. For these are your sunsets, and these are your shores. Welcome home to the People's Coast.
We need to have those one-on-one experiences. We need to have things in our life that make us grin because there's something different about it that no one else has. I make stuff for me, and I make stuff for my life, and I make stuff that I want. If I'm into golf or into tennis or into playing drums or whatever passion I'm into really fuels the design side of my brain. I see a space and I want to put my thumbprint on it. My first mentor is a guy by the name of Bobby Chang. When I was a student in design school, he founded the company Incase. And I reached out to him when I was in college and I said, hey, I want to make a backpack. Like, what do I do? Because I was a designer at the time, but I never made anything. He said, buy a sewing machine and figure it out. That one push opened the doors for learning what it takes to have a factory. I could build anything that I wanted to. I didn't have to rely on anyone else. There's a lot of things that influence the decisions that we make with design. To be simple, to be functional, to do everything at the highest level that we can, and to do things with integrity, to build our products with the best materials, built in the best way. That to me is the thing that is the most important to make something that lasts and something that will stand the test of time. I've spent 11 years building this amazing facility and building a team of like the most talented people to be able to take these ideas and make that happen real quick. For us to be able to get materials from all over the world, find the ones that we like the most with the right hardware, sewn in the right way, it's a special makeup. That's also what makes our products last a long time. If black leather fades, that's a problem. So our material has to be robust and has to be durable enough to withstand a lot of UV, a lot of travel, and a lot of use. And we have material that's made specifically for us that has a specific pebble, a specific thickness of pebble. It feels rich and it feels like it's a part of you in some way. Although that we're in a craft-based business, to use new technology to make dyes and to make cutting dyes and to make tooling for stamping and tooling for precision manufacturing, that makes everything so much better. Music, number one, is one of the most influential things to me. We have music playing all day long here. It's like the pulse of the facility. It gives us energy. It makes us work harder. It makes us work more focused. We're not rushing. We're not cracking whips on people to make stuff faster, to meet production. We're taking our time and we're making the best thing. And when you're able to approach the craft with a good vibe in the space, that allows you to kind of put your soul into the thing that you're making. Craftsmanship is about the artisan being proud of the work that they're making. It's a passion-based art. I let our work speak for us. What comes with that is this natural timelessness, this natural class. Every time I do what I do, I want to be the best that I can at it. That doesn't come from anywhere else other than yourself.
When I first met the family, I was just driving through. Then I came across this painted house. I went in and our relationship started. I really feel good about the fact that people, under all odds, have decided to remain who they are. It is important that you keep your traditions because your children must know where they're coming from. And that has made me have more respect for the people in the rural areas than the people in the city. They have enriched me. It is a privilege to have known the Demanda family, for I would not have had the insight that I have today.
December 20th, 1803. Ceremonies in New Orleans formally marked the completion of the Louisiana Purchase. The United States doubles in size as it gains ownership of the western half of the Mississippi River Basin, which it bought from France. 1860. South Carolina becomes the first state to secede from the Union, prompting other southern states to follow suit. The following year, the first shots of the Civil War are fired in South Carolina at the Battle of Fort Sumter. 1989, the United States launches Operation Just Cause, sending troops into Panama to topple the government of General Manuel Noriega. 1999, Vermont's Supreme Court rules that homosexual couples are entitled to the same benefits and protections as married heterosexual couples. And 1946,
Help me, Clarence! Get me back!
in New York, a preview charity screening of It's a Wonderful Life, a day before its official world premiere. The Frank Capra film starring James Stewart and Donna Reed is now considered a holiday classic. Today in history, December 20th. Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press.
Please, God, let me live again.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,